And here we go.
So Far From Home, I mean, I think it's gonna be a story, a narrative after Avengers Endgame. At least that's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it could be a prequel. It could be something before even Infinity War.
Yeah, I think it could be like, it could be.
I mean, I don't think so.
Somewhere between Homecoming and Infinity War.
Right.
It can, but I don't.
I don't think so either. But I mean, it could. I mean, that would be like a big surprise.
Yeah.
Like they just pull this, Marvel Studios pulled this off instead of like, oh, it's actually before Infinity War.
I don't think they would.
And then they kill off Spider-Man, kill Spider-Man in Avengers Endgame.
Keep him dead.
And actually, I do think, I do think after Far From Home, I think the deal with Sony is over. At least they haven't renewed it. So if they were going to end it and kill off this version of Spider-Man, they could with Avengers Endgame.
Oh my god.
And then I'm just thinking about this right now, but and then just say, oh, Far From Home was actually before Infinity War, and then I guess that could work, right?
Yeah. Well, going back to who we think is gonna die, I said how I thought Cap was gonna die. So how do you, if you think Tony? So you said your runner up is Tony, right? If he would die, so not Captain America is number one for sure gonna die, but Tony is your number two. Like
story wise,
yeah,
yes. But when I think of the business aspect, I don't think so because Iron Man made way too much money.
Yeah.
For Disney, and I mean, what is Robert Downey Jr. gonna be doing now? I mean, he's not gonna retire now. He's still kind of young. He already tried to star in a movie that wasn't an MCU movie, and then we bombed.
What movie is that?
That was The Judge with Robert Duvall. So it was a drama that he made. Did you even hear about the movie?
No, it sounds fucking boring.
Exactly my point. And so, I mean, where's he gonna go? I mean, who's giving him money?
Yeah. Well, I don't think he needs money, but
Right. No, but I mean, he can continue working.
if he were to die, how would he die? Sacrificing
It's easy.
himself as well?
It's easier to anticipate or predict how Captain America will die, but Tony.
Probably like sacrificing himself for Spider-Man or some shit like that.
You think so?
Yeah. I think
How
that's
about
a
Pepper?
possibility.
Aren't they like
Yeah, I
engaged or
guess.
something?
Yeah. No, I think what's gonna happen is Tony's gonna retire. So Cap's gonna die. The Avengers, the original team, is like over. So Hawkeye's gonna go with his family. And I think Tony is gonna retire and Pepper's pregnant. They're gonna have a kid.
I do see that. I could possibly see that Tony Stark would retire,
And then maybe.
but then come back later in some other movies or something.
Maybe his kid. Maybe his kid will do something. Tony's kid, but I think after if Cap dies, it'll be like he'll promise to himself that he won't be Iron Man again or some shit like that. That's what I see.
So we both agree that we believe Captain America is a goner after Avengers Endgame.
For sure. For sure.
All right. So let's go back to the pre-snap stuff. So in the pre-snap, there's a few characters that died by the hand of Thanos. And so the question is, are those characters that died before the pre-snap, are those characters then dead? Or how did those come back? Because when it comes to the snap, I mean, you could kind of argue that, well, they travel
To the
in time and blah blah. They undo the snap, and all those Marvel characters come back. But what about Gamora, Loki. What's the guy from Thor?
Heimdall?
Yeah, that guy.
Idris Elba?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. What I think more is that since the people that died from the snap, they died from the gauntlet. And I think the soul gem has something to do with that. So I've seen theories where like they think everyone that's dead isn't really dead, but they're trapped in the soul gem or some shit like that. And I think the reason that they're going back in time isn't to save people or anything. I think they're going back in time specifically to the first Avengers, because in the first Avengers that's when there's like 3 Infinity Gems like in New York. So that's when the Tesseract is there, and then Doctor Strange has the his sanctum or whatever is in New York, so that's the time gem. I think they're going back in time to collect gems, not to necessarily save people. Yeah, undo. Maybe they're like warning their past selves or something too, but it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't think so, because that would seem kind of dull.
Yeah.
Because they just go back and be like, they just tell each other.
Yeah.
And then that's it. So it's like there's no action going on, no big ass scene, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think so. But so then would they travel time through the quantum realm?
Yeah, I think that's most likely what's gonna happen. I think it'll probably open like with what we've seen in the trailer, where Captain America and Black Widow, everyone is there, and then Ant-Man shows up with the van, which we know has that quantum realm generator or whatever, and they use that to go back. But it's hard to tell right now what exactly they're going back for. Is it like, are they warning their past selves? Are they collecting gems? Like, what exactly are they doing?
Yeah, so if they're going to travel time somehow or use the quantum realm, we just don't really know what it is that they're doing with it, like where they're going, what's their mission, I guess.
Yeah.
To somehow fix the snap problem.
Do you think they're gonna use, like, are they gonna gather up or take the Infinity Gauntlet and then just undo everything, or do you think, like, how do you think that's gonna play out?
I hope it's not so simple like that.
Yeah, because I don't
like I really don't want it to be something simple, like something like, oh, okay, travel time, collects the stones, and you undo everything. Maybe I hope not, because that just seems something that
it seems kind of plain. The other thing that's kind of that I've thought about, and it's kind of really hard to like predict what's gonna happen, is like what's gonna happen to Thanos. Like, I don't think he's gonna die. Like, I don't think they're gonna kill him off.
I've heard some theories that they defeat him in the first act.
I don't think so.
And then the rest of the movie is just them trying to undo.
That'll be bullshit, because they spent the last fucking
I don't think
2.5 hours fighting his ass.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it's gonna be, because it would be kind of. And then that some other villain actually comes in.
Yeah, that there's someone even on top of like Galactus or some shit like that.
Right, but isn't Galactus still part of Fox?
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't think that they would have been able to do that.
No, I don't think so.
So I don't think that's gonna be the case.
Yeah, that's hard to tell. Like, I'm pretty confident in what's gonna happen to Cap, but to Thanos, it's hard to tell. I don't think they're gonna kill him off. Maybe they'll trap him somewhere, or not in prison, but like, I don't think he'll die. I'll say that. Maybe he'll be cast somewhere like Red Skull was too. That can happen. And that's another thing too. Like, what's the deal with Red Skull? And
Red Skull, I really don't think that we're gonna really see him again. I think it was just kind of like a little cameo, little appearance for this movie. He's
still around, so
yeah, he's still alive. He's still, like you said, around. But I just don't. At least I don't think that he's gonna have a significance, or if any, part of this movie.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna be defeated in the first act. I'm pretty sure like there's gonna be multiple fight scenes, like with the one on Titan and then the one in Wakanda, but I don't think he's gonna be defeated in the first act. I think there's gonna be another big final battle, and that's where Cap dies. Pretty sure.
in the third act.
In the final act, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess it would have to be right. So what about Captain Marvel? What role do you think she's gonna have? Now, Captain Marvel is very powerful, as we've seen in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen in the TV spots in the trailer? She seems like really confident and like she's like ready to just take on Thanos by herself, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, what do you think her role is gonna be? And do you think she's gonna get her ass kicked by Thanos, or is she gonna really give Thanos?
Just like a run for his money.
Yeah.
I don't know, cause like we don't really know too much about her. Like, there's been one movie, and that's right before Endgame. So, like, her up against someone as powerful as Thanos is kind of hard to tell. So, I don't think it'll be towards the point she's so powerful where like she can take him on her own.
Because that would be lame.
Yeah, I don't
And that
think
movie
so.
wouldn't pass.
Especially if Thanos has all the gems. So, I think she's just gonna be as valuable as like Iron Man and like Thor, because those guys are pretty powerful too. Maybe more than, I think she's on par with Thor. I'll say that. I don't think she's more powerful than Thor. But yeah, it's hard to tell because
Thor almost defeated Thanos.
Right,
He
yeah.
kind of did.
almost did. Yeah,
So
could have killed him.
yeah.
So, I think she's on par with Thor. I don't think she's.
You don't think she's more powerful? Than Thor?
No. She's got to be, because I mean, if she is more powerful than Thor, then she can take him on her own. So, because Thor almost killed fucking Thanos, and Thanos was using all the gems and shit when he threw his hammer, and that shit his hammer like beat the gems. Fucking still got him in the chest. So.
But he should have gone
for the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's just on par with Thor. I don't think anything more than that.
Okay. So do you think, though, that she is going to play a significant role in this movie besides... So you already established that you don't think that she's going to be more powerful than Thor, or that she's can really take Thanos on by herself.
Right.
But what role do you think? Is she just going to be part of the team, like the
Yeah.
other Avengers?
I don't really see her being like a huge presence, and I don't think they can do that because it's like, well, she's like new now. She's not gonna be the leader of the team. I think the leaders are still Cap and Iron Man and Thor. I think if anything, she's gonna be just like those guys. So I don't think she's gonna be as low as like Black Widow, but she's not gonna be like the leader of the team. I don't think. Maybe in the future. After I'm sure she'll come back sometime after Endgame, like I don't think we're gonna be seeing Iron Man and Captain America anymore, so I'm sure in the future we'll see more of her, and she'll maybe take a leadership role later on. But as far as now, I don't think she's gonna. I think she's just like Thor, just like Cap for now. Okay, so what I'm curious about is, since we're all pretty sure that the snapped characters are gonna come back.
Dusted character.
The dusted characters. What exactly is the future for them? What do you think? Because I would have wanted to see. I think I said before, last time I was on here, that Doctor Strange was my favorite character in Infinity War. Actually, now that I think about it, I heard somewhere that there is one scene when everyone's fighting Thanos, when he has all the gems, where like every single MCU character is fighting him. I heard this a long time ago.
I think I've heard that too, but
like
it's
every single character.
there'd be one fucking huge ass epic scene.
Yeah, that's gonna be fucking huge if that. Well, actually, this is the end. This is the last thing, so I'm sure that's gonna happen. But, so I guess that means that we're gonna get the characters back, not at the end like I would have thought, but somewhere like in between the second and third act. That means that the snapped away characters are gonna come back somewhere in there, and then everyone fights Thanos.
I don't know.
I mean, that has to be the case. If they said that they're...
I mean, could they come back somehow? The other Avenger characters find out a way to unsnap the... Well, at least for them to undust. But then they still have to deal with Thanos.
Yeah.
They still have to deal with him. He's still a threat. I mean, I guess that could be it. I mean, we're just assuming that it's going to be in the third act that they come back, right?
Right.
So, I mean, that's a possibility.
But yeah, I wonder what the future is exactly for those guys. And,
Who specifically? Because, okay, so I know you mentioned Doctor Strange. So they're making Doctor Strange 2, so we know that.
I didn't even know that.
Black Panther 2, they were making Black Panther 2.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Far From Home, but I mean, it could be a prequel. It could be before Avengers Infinity War. Most likely
I
not.
don't think so.
But then there's that. So at least we know that there's another movie that Spider-Man will be back somehow.
Yeah.
And what about the Guardians? I mean, there's Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We know that's coming.
Right.
So is Gamora coming?
I don't think so. Actually, I think Nebula's gonna take her place.
Oh, well, we kind of discussed that already. So we kind of do think that. Now we talked about.
Oh yeah.
We talked about Captain America sacrificing himself. That's how he dies.
Mm-hmm.
But does that mean that he would successfully kill Thanos? Could it be someone else? Like, could Nebula do the final blow and kill off Thanos?
Well, because that's her like lifelong thing, right?
Right. So then, going back to the whole Guardians of the Galaxy 3...
I actually think that if Cap is gonna die, he has to be the one that stops him.
So if he gets killed, he has to end it.
Right.
He has to end the whole thing. He has the one that kills Thanos.
Yeah.
I suppose so, yeah.
I can picture him wearing the gauntlet too, like undoing shit or
Damn,
whatever.
holding Thor's hammer, now wearing the gauntlet.
I can see that, but I think, mark my fucking words, he's gonna die. He's gonna hold Thor's hammer. There's no way for me to know that right now.
Those are your two little checklists. Those are the ones.
I'm almost 100% sure that's what's gonna happen.
And this was because of the little tease that we got in Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron, yeah. I think I saw somewhere that the reason he wasn't able to lift it then is because he knew the truth about what happened to Tony's parents, and he didn't tell Tony, so he wasn't worthy or some shit like that. But now that he told Tony in Civil War, and then the fact that he knows that he's about to risk himself.
Well, he didn't really tell him. I mean, that one villain character that was kind of lame in Civil War.
Yeah.
He basically told him. He showed him.
Yeah. I think I remember Tony asking him if he knew Cap was honest. He said yeah.
I guess.
But I definitely see that. I see that as one of the things that they have to do before this all ends. So like Cap holding the hammer. I know there's other things.
Who are the other significant Avengers or MCU characters, I guess, that have something, possibly coming, like a sequel, besides the ones that we're talking about? So Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, the Guardians.
Who else?
Is a big
I feel
one.
like I'm missing one or two.
Of course, Black Widow.
Black Widow didn't dust though. I'm talking about the ones that dusted.
Oh,
Scarlet Witch. Now there's the Disney Plus series.
If we're talking about that, then it's Winter Soldier and Falcon. They have their own show coming too, or
right?
whatever.
Yes, they have their own show.
And they were both
Loki.
dusted.
Oh, Loki. Well, Loki. I mean, that's got to be some kind of a prequel series.
Yeah.
But
because that's another thing I don't think
Oh, what about Vision?
Predestined.
You think Vision coming back somehow? Like maybe what's her face? The girl
Maybe.
from Black Panther. What's her name?
Oh,
The-
Shuri?
Yeah. Do you think maybe she downloaded something? A Vision,
Yeah, I think she did.
and then he'll come back somehow, like a different version of Vision, not
Like-
exactly the same, but
Like back as Jarvis or like back in
something
a body?
something like that, or maybe not exactly the same thing anymore because he needs the stone, right?
Yeah, I think I can see him coming back as Jarvis. But I do think maybe he'll come back in a body so that he can be like with Scarlet Witch, because I know they have like a thing.
Okay, so then we also know that there's going to be some fan service in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, how about what do you think is going to happen with? Is Captain America finally going to say, "Avengers Assemble"?
Yeah. That's the kind of shit I was thinking about. Like, so of course him holding the hammer. That's one thing that they kind of been teasing. Avengers Assemble, like all these kind of things that we sort of forgot about and were teased about before. I think it's finally gonna happen, and it's gonna be that much more of a payoff. So I think it was Age of Ultron at
Yeah.
the end where they tease it, right?
Yeah, so you think it's going to be Captain America's going to say "Avengers Assemble" in this film, in Endgame, all the Avengers assemble and they come out, and then Thanos shanks Captain America and then he dies.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get shanked for sure.
Specifically shanked.
Specifically,
With that big ass fucking sword
with
he
that
has.
big ass sword, that double sword. He's gonna pick up the fucking hammer. I can see it. He's gonna stop him, slow him down from doing something. I don't necessarily think he's gonna kill him on the spot, but he's gonna get killed by Thanos with that big ass double sword, whatever it's called.
Now, are you gonna be disappointed if these predictions we're talking about don't happen, don't come to fruition?
Well, a little bit, because I mean, this is like the last movie, and they kind of have to pay it
They
off.
have to.
They kind of have
So
to.
you're setting yourself up to be
for
disappointed if
disappointment.
they don't do that shit.
Right. Well, I mean, if this movie sucks, there's no fucking way this is not gonna be the
But-
biggest disappointment of
But
all
it'll
fucking time.
suck if none of that shit happens.
It won't suck, but I'm sure I'll be satisfied with this movie. If it sucks, I'm gonna be fucking pissed, and
Okay.
that'll be easily the biggest disappointment. 22 movies and you fuck up the end, you're gonna piss a lot of people off. I think it'll be fine, and I know for sure there'll be some fan service because like they know that. The directors know that. Like,
Well, when you say "and," what do you mean by "and"?
like the end. This is the last of the Avengers, like their whole arc that we know.
Okay,
So from 08 to now.
This arc, right? I mean, MCU's gonna continue.
Yeah, of course.
There's gonna be Avengers movies coming still.
Yeah.
It's just, although you think only one Avenger's gonna die,
Yeah.
but I think more than one. But
Like specifically who? You think Thor will die?
No.
I mean, if we're talking about predictions, like we're mainly talking about like the end and the future of this shit. But like during the movie, like I think Hulk is gonna get his payback for like the first 5 minutes of Infinity War. I think that's gonna pay off. Like they have a lot of loose ends to tie up. So not only do they have to do that, but they have to progress the story from what happened last movie, and then make that good, and then still tie up loose ends, and then wrap it up. So it's kind of a lot to take care of. So I can see why the
3 hours.
runtime is fucking 3 hours.
3-hour movie. Yeah.
But usually, from what I've noticed, Russo brothers are pretty good with pacing. Because Infinity War didn't feel like 3 hours, or 2.5. Civil War didn't feel like 2.5 hours. And that's all those guys' movies. So I'm sure same thing will happen here, but it's still a 3-hour movie. So we gotta see how that shit plays out.
All right.
And then I think Nebula's gonna have a bigger role this time around, because I've seen like or I've heard that in the comic, like she's the one that has the gauntlet in the end and like undoes everything.
Oh yeah, I
Shit
heard that
like
too. Yeah,
So,
I don't know if that's gonna happen. And not I mean, they're not really following everything that's in the comic at all. But
because there's a lot of characters that are in that aren't in the movies.
oh, how about this one other thing here? So, how about the theory that Hela comes back in this movie somehow?
I don't think so. I don't think we'll see it. Maybe we'll see her, but like they said, every character in the MCU.
Well, that's a theory in itself. We don't know for
Yeah.
sure that's gonna be the case, but
It has to be a pretty big payoff in the final battle. So
and then how about the fact that this is officially Stan Lee's final cameo in this movie?
oh, you'll think he'll be like, you think he'll be have like some sort of secret role we didn't know about or something?
No, it's just what do you think his cameo would be like
Oh,
as his final one? At least now that we know it's his final one.
I don't think it's gonna be something that plays into the story.
Well, because usually it doesn't. But,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think though? Because I've heard a theory that
He's like a god or some shit.
no, is that no, that Tony Stark survives somehow or whatever, and then gets married with Pepper, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's Stanley who's actually doing the what do you call it? Like the priest.
Oh, I can see that. That'd be cool.
Like he's doing, what do you call it? What can't I think of that word right now?
What? He's like the priest.
Yeah, I guess whatever.
He's doing like the wedding ceremony.
Right. I mean that's what I heard.
Is it gonna be CG or did they film this?
No. They filmed his
Oh.
that's his last cameo, the one that he filmed before he died.
Oh, so then it probably won't be like it probably won't be somewhere where it's like a tribute. I mean, I'm sure though he'll have a tribute somewhere in the credits or anything.
Although they did, I think they did something a little different with Captain Marvel. I don't know if it was done before he died or if they added something later.
No, you're talking about the intro where like all the
No. I'm talking about when we see Stanley's cameo in Captain Marvel,
Mhm.
and then Captain Marvel, like, acknowledges him.
Yeah,
And she like smiles.
I think that
and-
was CG, right? That looks
No,
CG.
That's he.
Oh.
He shot that.
Oh.
That was him. He did it before. He filmed a bunch of cameos
Mhm.
at the same time before he died.
Yeah, because they're like, this fucker's always gonna bounce.
Yeah. So he's having trouble getting to places,
Yeah.
and so they shot a few of those. But what I'm saying is, they usually don't acknowledge Stan Lee in the previous MCU cameos, but in Captain Marvel they did. So I don't know if they intended it from the beginning before he even died, or if they kind of did that. They added that later when he did that. But that goes back to Captain Marvel. But I don't know. Maybe they'll do something like that here. It'll be his cameo. They shot it the way that it was supposed to be shot, but maybe they change it just enough so it's kind of like a tribute at the same time.
I think his cameo in Endgame is gonna be tribute, like a tribute style cameo. That is a cool idea of him being the priest or whatever. But I think this movie's gonna be very different. So like I think the beginning credits are gonna be very different from the last movies, and the end credits I think are gonna be very different. I think there's gonna be like some sort of like I don't know, I won't say a montage, but like
A month, okay.
no, like I think it's gonna be very different. Like I can see something in the end credits after the movie's over, like it's all wrapped up. There's gonna be like something from like Marvel, like a message, or from the Russo brothers, or whatever the case is. And that's another thing too. Like, is this movie gonna have post-credit scenes?
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another thing too. Because we know, like,
Well, I guess they could basically announce a movie or two,
Yeah,
or maybe a movie
yeah.
for Phase 4.
Like if whoever dies and retires and everything, they're called like the New Avengers or something. They can say like, "Oh, the New Avengers will return," but then if that's the case, they kind of have to set up a new villain for them to return to come back to or whatever.
Not necessarily, or unless they do a little cameo like they did with the first Avengers movie, when they're at that sandwich shop or whatever. That
Oh, something cheeky like that.
yeah.
There is a lot of shit for them to expand on because there's a character that was pretty important in the comic that they teased in Guardians 2. Adam Warlock or some shit like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we still haven't heard shit about that guy. So, and I don't think he's gonna be in this movie. So I think that's gonna be something for Guardians 3. Maybe he'll be like a villain or some shit. I don't think Galactus is gonna be in this.
No.
I don't know. What I can see though is that scene where everyone is battling Thanos. I can see that.
You're almost looking forward to a scene that
Yeah.
you don't even know is gonna be in.
That's another thing too. Like, I have a feeling this shit's gonna get spoiled for me somehow.
Well, it's already like we found out today that somebody
but
released.
like I'm avoiding social media now, so I feel like somehow this shit is gonna get spoiled.
Someone's gonna just tell you.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
oh,
not-
look what I heard.
Not that someone's gonna tell me. I just feel like I'm gonna look at something on accident.
You just have to avoid internet
Uh,
for what 10 days? Is
10
it?
fucking days.
Yeah, 20. When are you going? 26 Friday night, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm like flies to shit though. I can't stay away from it too. That's another thing. Like, I
yeah.
kind of want to see, but I don't. But this is the end, the last one. I'm just gonna avoid it. I'm not gonna spoil it for myself, cause I did kind of see spoilers a little bit for Infinity War. Before I
What
saw
did you
it.
see?
I saw like a screenshot of when Scarlet Witch is like blasting her shit at Thanos, and then like Vision's over here.
Oh
That
my
white
God.
shot.
You know, Vision's dead at that point.
No, I didn't. I mean, I saw it and it was blurry. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna discount this.
I'm trying to remember if I saw or heard any spoilers. I think the only thing that I heard was
Before you saw it.
before I saw it, yeah, was that Vision was gonna hide out in Wakanda, but that was about it. That wasn't like a big spoiler. I mean, like it wasn't in the trailer or anything really,
Yeah.
but I don't think I get really spoiled anything. And I'm always online. I just really try not to avoid like little opinion stuff about something specific, like
Yeah.
Avengers Infinity War.
Mhm.
So, you know, people are talking about like, oh, this and that, and
I just hope that this movie is not very like convoluted and complicated with the whole time travel shit. That's one thing.
yeah, I'm
kinda
really
iffy
I'm
about.
really concerned about the travel time thing, the travel
because that I feel like
time
that's-
travel thing. I mean,
I feel like it's very easy to find plot holes when it comes to that sort of thing. Kind of like what I mentioned. Actually, this has nothing to do with what I'm saying, but what I said about why didn't Thor go to Titan instead of Wakanda?
okay, yeah,
Um,
okay, yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be very easy to find plot holes if they do the time travel thing wrong.
I just don't think they're gonna do it right. It's just very tricky, and it's very, it's like a cop out. It's like, oh, you travel time, well, you fix everything if you go back in time.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of don't.
Well, we know for sure that's gonna happen. There's gonna be time travel.
I just really hope they're doing something
different.
good. But I don't know. I guess we'll know soon enough, right?
Okay, so we didn't mention how we haven't seen the commentary of Infinity War.
Yeah, so we have seen the commentary of the Russo brothers commentary from Infinity War Blu-ray, because the Russo brothers, they do give a little bit more of insight, a little bit of more, just a little bit more information of how Endgame is going to be, and from
More like like focus based, like what they're.
Well, I mean, as much as they could.
Yeah.
But you know how Infinity War is.
Thanos'
If you really look at it, it's kind of Thanos and Thor.
It's yeah.
And from what I heard, I mean, like I said, I didn't hear the commentary. I should have, but I didn't hear the commentary of the Russo brothers of Infinity War. It looks like this film is more focused on Captain America. Just how, if you want to focus on one particular Avengers in Infinity War, it would be Thor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of more like Captain America. That's kind of why, part of the reason why I think he might die.
Yeah. Just to give him like a full final arc type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially that kind of confirms it. If they do say that, he's gonna fucking die.
Or maybe they want you to think that he's gonna die.
No. Well, they did say that there's gonna be a lot of surprises.
Well, I mean, there's a shitload of surprises in Infinity War.
Yeah. But I think that what I did hear, I heard clips of the commentary. I didn't listen to it. I just heard clips. They said little things like that this is now Endgame is more like the Avengers / what you said, like Cap. This is more their movie now, whereas the last one was Thanos' movie. Like Infinity War was Thanos' movie.
Ultimately, yeah.
Yeah, and now this one is their movie again. So, and then it's little things like he said that the suit that we saw for Iron Man, he said that that's like as good as it's gonna get. Like little things like that. I would have liked to listen to the commentary, but I do think that
I think it's, in a way, I think it's better that we didn't, because we can come up with our raw predictions, I guess. Because now, if we would have heard the entire commentary by the Russo brothers, now they're not giving out spoilers or anything,
right,
but they do kind of rule out some things. So, or they kind of gave out some kind of direction. Yeah. Again, this from what I've heard, from some other format, some other
source,
another source, right? And from another source, and from another. From another source, and so I think in that way we can just kind of predict some things that are more raw, and then we later find out that the Russo brothers commentary actually ruled out everything we were talking about. But
right.
I think it's better this way.
In the end, game. This is a predictions podcast, so what was I gonna say?
So obviously we don't have any information, any sources that we read. Like I said, we didn't read any spoiler. I don't know where people.
Yeah, we haven't heard any
information now, like Reddit or something like.
Yeah,
this is just based on what the MCU films that we've seen in the past, and how we might know the characters and whatnot. So we're just kind of doing our predictions based on that. But
yeah, this is a prediction video or whatever. So,
and then there also, I mean, we talked a lot about theories that we've heard.
Yeah,
something that we agree with or we don't agree with.
Yeah,
or whatever. So we did use that, and then like I mentioned, the Russo brothers commentary and whatnot from what I've heard, anyways. And
yeah, I think that. I mean, if this is a prediction, so do you think there's a bigger bad guy behind everything?
In this film?
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna reveal something at the end?
I don't think so.
I hope they don't.
Yeah, I hope maybe that's why I don't think so, because I hope they don't.
Yeah.
Because I think we were introduced to Thanos in Infinity War, and I think it should stay with Thanos, because he's the one he basically fucked up half of the universe. So let's stay with this villain, and so they can undo or defeat or whatever they need to do with this one villain. I don't think it'd be a good idea to come up with some other villain, but who knows?
But yeah, if we're talking about Thanos and the end, I don't think he's gonna die. I can't see him dying. I think I said this before. Like, they'll just trap him somewhere or imprison him. Don't think he's gonna die. You said you thought the movie was gonna start with the shots we've seen in the trailer of all like the destruction.
Right. Yeah, like of Earth showing all the destruction of the aftermath of the snap.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that being the opening shots. I can also see Tony. Maybe it could be one of those things where like they pick up immediately after.
Like that's the opening shot. Like he's already in the planet. Or is he? Wait, is he in the spaceship or whatever?
Or it could open with Thanos too, and his little planet, whatever. Another possibility I think is that it'll open up like with Tony, because the last time we saw Tony was on Titan, right?
Yes.
I don't remember actually.
I mean, you should. You've seen how many times?
A bunch, but
You've seen like 10 times. I've seen it 4 times.
you've only seen it 4 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot more than that.
Yeah, I know.
I think it can open with Tony. Like it could be one of those things where like they open up immediately after, kind of like how Ragnarok and Infinity War start.
Oh,
You know, that
okay.
very end of it's like right there. I think it can be one of those opening with Tony and what's that chick?
Gamora? I mean, Nebula?
Nebula, yeah. Trying to get back to Earth, the destruction, whatever. I'm rambling again.
All right, we have to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Then. All right, then. So, I mean, ultimately, like I said, I think our main prediction, which I'm sure a lot of people have, that Captain America is not going to survive Avengers Endgame.
And then Bucky's gonna take over.
And the book. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that, but the one thing that we got out of this is that I think Captain America will die. Like I mentioned, I think most people think that. So ultimately, I'm gonna do a Avengers Endgame spoiler review. All right. So before we wrap this up, so I'm doing a spoiler review of Avengers Endgame, and I'm gonna talk about the what ended up happening in the movie, and might even talk about how wrong I was with my predictions, or maybe how right I was in my predictions. And you won't be joining us for the spoiler review, right, Alex?
I won't. I won't.
Okay.
I'd like to, because I'm sure I'll have a lot of shit to say. But yeah, I won't. I'll be at San Diego Zoo.
So everyone, so Alex will be in San Diego Zoo watching the monkeys.
I'm gonna watch this more than once, so if after multiple viewings, I'm sure we can come back and talk about it again.
Probably not.
Alright.
Okay. All right. So Avengers Endgame spoiler review. I'm gonna try to see if I can post it that first weekend its release. If not a few days after the weekend. But at that particular video or podcast video, I'll have a giveaway, probably a Funko giveaway, Avengers Endgame. If you're choosing, I'll give more details when I actually post that particular video. But that's gonna end this Avengers Endgame prediction podcast video. Alex joined me.
Yes.
And this is Giovanni, and this is the Movie Canon YouTube channel. Thank you very much for listening or watching, or whichever way you watched or got this information. And thank you for subscribing. If not, if you haven't subscribed, then go ahead and subscribe.
Subscribe to Backyard Flicks.
That doesn't exist anymore, remember?
Oh shit.
It's Movie Canon now.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other thing. Backyard Pictures does not exist anymore. It's the Movie Canon. So my Instagram, it's the Movie Canon, or just Movie Canon. and this is the new YouTube channel.
Have you not addressed this before?
I have in my Oscars video, but I've only done one video this year. So, because I've only been able to do, it's been a crazy years already so far. So, but it is the movie canon, and some of you already subscribe, or some of them are already following me on Instagram. But go ahead and continue doing that, or watching the videos and whatnot. And that's gonna be it for now. So, I'll talk to you guys next time.